Welcome, friends. 57th Sarga of 3rd Utpatthi Prakaranam. We have to start studying today, in which the Swapna analogy is given again to bring to our clear understanding that this Jagrat Jagat also is Swapna Tulya Mithya. Therefore, if we listen it repeatedly, if we can contemplate it, in what way, from what standpoint, the Gurus are telling this, we will be able to understand. Once the understanding comes, conviction comes, what will happen is we will rise above this Jagrat Jagat by devaluing it, and that sorts out the world problem, worldliness problem. Not only that, the other side, we become qualified for seeing that reality. So, Jagat Mithyatva Nirnaya is so very essential for the Adhyatmika sadhakas to develop the Vairagya so that he is Shanta in his mana, which is so essential for the Tattva Chintana, for the Tattvanubhuti. Is there any doubt? All the Rishi Muni Gurus whom we see, they are in that state. That's why they love us, but they don't expect anything from us or this world. That love is natural, that is the way they help us, serve us. But within that, within their heart, they know the Mithyatva of Jagat. Therefore, they are not bound. Because of that status of mind, it is so obvious for them to see the reality as it is. Why not us also? All this topic we have seen in our Yoga Vasisthana, what you call Mandukya Upanishad. Mandukya and Yoga Vasishtha, Ramayana, they closely go together. Though the size wise this is 32,000 slokas, that is only 250. And so, Saramsh. Shall we see that? Spend 2-3 minutes in Mangalacharana Shloka, Sankalpadi, then chanting we have done yesterday. We'll start seeing the topic. Om, 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 Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ओम यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वम् ओम शंकरं शंकराचार्यम् ओम श्रीराम राम रामेति ओम ब्रह्मानंदं परमसुखदं परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म भक्ति योग धर्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीरामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे वसिष्ठादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषद योग वासिष्ठ महारामायणोक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्य बोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं श्रुति स्मृति पुराणे इतिहास संतवाङ्मयोक्त साध्य साधनानुभव सिद्ध्यर्थं तत्रोक्त ऋषिमुनि गुरुदेवता दर्शनानुग्रहानुभव प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातन धर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थं धर्म संस्थापकानां नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराम मंदिरवद शिव कृष्णादि मंदिरादीनां पुनर्वाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रुविघ्न शाश्वत समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्माद् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हिंदव संस्कृतेः धर्म मोक्ष पुरुषार्थानां सुसंप्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्म दिग्विजयः तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षि विरचित श्री राम वशिष्ठ संवाद रूप श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण स्मृति मोक्ष प्रकरण शास्त्रस्य पारायण अध्ययनं साधना प्रयत्न मुक्त्यर्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। मंगलाचरण श्लोकाः। ओम यत सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शनदृश्यभूः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः स्फुरन्ति शीकरायस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरेवनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः दिवि भूमौ तथाकाशे बहिरन्तश्च मे विभुः यो विभात्यवभासात्मा तस्मै सर्वात्मने नमः सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तमेकमजरं नित्यं विभुं शाश्वतं प्रत्यग्ब्रह्मरसायनं सुखगनं पूर्णं परं पावनं स्वात्मज्योतिरनादिमध्यनिधनं मायाविलासैर्मुहुः विश्वाकारमपास्तमायमभयं वन्दे विशुद्धं पदं ज्ञानादेवात्मनो मोक्षः समाधिभिः अज्ञातोऽसौ स्वसदृश्यं सृजत्येवेति कीर्त्यते तस्मै श्रीगुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहं तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्रीगुरुतमगुरवे भूरिभावैर्नता स्मः पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्दिदीर्षुर्जनमनवरतं मुखे निमग्नं आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरविकलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यः संवादेन शास्त्रामृतजलधिममुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये ओं श्रीरामचन्द्र परब्रह्मणे नमः वसिष्ठादर्शिभ्यो नमः योगवासिष्ठमहारामायण स्मृतिमोक्षप्रकरणशास्त्रं तृतीय उत्पत्तिप्रकरणे लीलोपाख्याने स्वप्न अवस्था वर्णनं नाम सप्तपञ्चाशत्तम सर्गः श्रीवसिष्ठ उवाच. So the 57th Sarga. In the earlier Sarga, Ramji's questions, various types were answered. Okay. Two main points were if the departed ones or the left behind ones, if they have not done the Pinda Pradhana, how the departed one will get that Sharira required to go to the Yamaloka for further discussions, further all allocations of lokas as far as Punya Papa. Second is, if the departed one is a dharmi, papi or not done any dharma, the ones who left behind, if they do lot of punya adi and they offer it to him, will it reach or not? By this, you and I are told two things. That for our departed ones, we have to do both the Pinda Pradhana as well as Punya Karma, etc. on their name. Pinda Pradhanas give them those Shariras to reach to, and Punyadi Karmas, whatever we do and give them, that also again they get they encash it there for their own growth. So these facilities, possibilities are there in this universe, though it is projected at that level. These are the rules function. With this, the world is set, and the Shastra is the authority for us for that. Okay, then when Vasishthaji said, Deshakala, Dravya and Kriya are the Hetu for the Nirmiti of the Vasana, from the Vasana or Samskara, the next thing projected or gets created. Sri Ramji asks Mahakalpa Samaya, there are no these things. Therefore, these Hetus being not there, how can there be effect of the Srishti or the Jagat? Then Bhagavan says that is what is to be understood. Because, as you said exactly, Satyatman, you are absolutely right. Because the hetus are not there, its phala or its real result or the effect also is not there. Then the only one question remains to be answered. Then what is that whole Jagat which I am saying? The whole Jagat is nothing but Brahman. That's it. That you have to realize now. Slowly you are gaining this knowledge. Become more subtler, more deeper, more sincere, more regular, more applying. Then the knowledge becomes deeper and firm. That's what you have to do. This thing about everything is Brahman, I am going to tell you with hundreds of yuktis in the coming topic. For that only I took this initiative of talking to you. Etadartham pravuttoyam. This is what I have to do. But listen now to this story. Then in this story of the Padma Leelopakhyanam, he said how these Leela and Saraswati reached that Adbhuta, that Bhurmandala, the other Brahmandame, and also they have gone to that place into that Antapura. Antapura Varnana is done yesterday. All the beautiful garlands, fragrances, the body of Raja Padma wrapped in the cloth with all garlands there. So all that we saw. Continuation of that is in the Sattavanva Sarga, which we are starting now. Atha Sapta Panchashaha Sargaha Shri Vasishta Uvacha. Vasishta is telling Ramji, Tato Dadrushatus Tatra Shavashayyaika Parshvagam. Before that, yeah. लीलां विदूरथस्याग्रे मृतां ते प्रथमागतां ततः तत्र ददृशतुः शवशय्या एकपार्श्वगा. That Shava is kept on one Shayya. At one corner of it, they saw Tataha Dadrushatu Tatra. What they saw? Both Leela and Saraswati. Leelam. The other Leela, the number two Leela. Who was that? Vidurathasya Agre Mrutam or Prathamagatam. The one who died before Viduratha died. And because खबर सुनते ही यार उनको देखते ही कि he was so much harmed or what you call beaten and then wounded by the Sindhu Raja, वो देखकर ही मूर्छित होकर वो मर गई थी. So therefore, before Viduratha she died, and also Pratama Agatam, before Viduratha she came and guided by her own daughter. That Leela seated in the corner on that palanga where that Raja's dead body is kept, both of them saw. So te tataha dadrushatu tatra shavashayya ekaparshvagam Leelam Viduratasya agre mrutam or pratama agata. They saw. Then what happened? How that Leela was? Nothing changed, nothing new. Everything was as she was there in that Brahmanda. That Varnana in 2-3 slokas. Prag Vesham. Her entire Vesha was exactly as it was there. Prag Samacharam. Her all Acharana was like that. Means the eyes movement, the facial expression, the bodily movement, the hands, legs movement, the way of walking, whatever. Prag Samachara. Everything what she was doing, her inner nature as exactly Jotha Vahi hai. Prag Vesha, Prag Samacharam, then Prag Deham. Whole body, the color of the Sharira, the weight of the body, the height of the body, the complexion, the parts, all of them Prag Deha, same to same. Then Prag Swavasanam, with the same her inner thoughts and vasanas, tendencies and nature, everything same. Prag Vesha, Prag Samachara, Prag Deha, Prag Vasana. Then Praktana Akara Sadrushim. All are akara sadusha also praktana only. Then sarva rupa anga sundari, and there also she was such a sundari with all her anga pratyanga being sundara. Same way she is so beautiful here also. Then prag rupa avayava spandam. Earlier type like only our avayava spandana also is same. The bodily movements etc. Na? These are the ways we recognize the people. है ना बॉडी लैंग्वेज कहते हैं उसको. तो एग्जैक्टली प्राग रूपा अवयव स्पंदम. देन प्राग अंबर परिवृतम. व्हाट अबाउट हर क्लोथिंग? एग्जैक्टली दैट ड्रेस ओनली. जो भी था वो पहन कर आई थी वहां से सेम ड्रेस शी हैज गॉट. देन व्हाट अबाउट द आभूषणास? प्राग भूषण भरत छन्नाम. ऑल द आभूषणास व्हिचएवर शी वोर देयर एंड केम, all of them are there. You may ask question, but the husband is dead. How can she is bearing all the bhushan bhushan? But she's got the boon, na? That he will be alive again. She'll stay with him. So she knows it. So therefore, when husband wakes up, when he sees her without bhushana, अच्छा नहीं रहता ना? So she is that way there. She didn't remove them. So all bhushanas are there. So prag bhushana bharat channam. Then kevalam tatra samsthitam. Same kevalam is as she was, she is seated there. What was she doing? Gruhita chamaram charu. The beautiful chamara, the hand pankha she was having in the hand. Vijayantim mahipatim. The mahipati, the Raja's body there. She was fanning that body of that king. Mahipati कहा यहाँ तो almost the body जीव must have entered now. Entry हो रही है. Vijayantim mahipatim. Then udyat chandram iva divam bhushayantim mahitalam. She herself with her own beauty and in her hand that pankha, the whole scenery is like the chandrama on the earth, brightening the earth means that particular hall. This Akasha Chandrama gives light to the entire Akasha. She is like Bhuloka Chandrama giving the Kanti everywhere. So, Gruhita Chamaram Charu Vijayanti Mahimatim Udya Chandramiva Divam Bhushayanti Mahitalam. So, Mahital ko Bhushan kar rahi hai like a very well rising Chandrama. Then what was she talking? No talking. Maunastham. मौन में है. देन वाम हस्तस्थ वदन इंदु तया नताम. तो हर वदन इज लाइक इंदु, चंद्रमा के समान मुकुड़ा चेहरे को. वाम हस्तस्थ वदन, so the left hand, on that left hand her head was little bit resting. With the right hand she is doing pankha, waiting for him to wake up. एंड थक गई सर से, सो ऐसे लगा के. ये सारा तो आप सब भी करते रहते, टीवी देखते, सिनेमा देखते, कभी सत्संग में भी. यू गिव सपोर्ट टू द हेड. So she has put her like that, one side little bent. So then Vama Hastasthavadana Indutaya Natam. Then Bhushana Amshu Lata Pushpaihi Fullamiva Vanasthalim. So all Bhushanas are so beautiful, like Funnamiva Vanasthalim, the well blossomed flowers, how they beautify the entire garden. In that way, her all Bhushanas are giving that a beautiful look. So Bhushana Amshu Lata Pushpaihi. All the Bhushanas are the Lata Pushpas, which are full blossomed, beautifying the Vanastarim. Then what? Ki Kurvanam Vikshitaihi Dikshu Malati Utpala Varshanam. So Vikshitaihi, with our own visions only, Anke Drushti se hi, Vikshitaihi Dikshu Kurvanam Malati Utpala Varshanam. So with our looks only, all the Malati Utpala Pushpa Vrishti, all directions, she is making the Pushpa Vrishti happen. Then Sujantim Atma Lavanyat Indum Indu Nabhoditam. So Sujantim Atma Lavanyat Indum Indum Nabhoditam. So with her own beauty, she is creating the rising moon here. Then Narapala Atmanaha Vishnoho Lakshmi Miva Samagatam. So she is like, if that Narapala is Vishnu, then she is the Lakshmi Gitara. You know, Vishnu is the Maha Narapala, that Raja, the Padma, she is like a Lakshmi. That way she was in her presence. So then Uditam Pushpa Sambharat Iva Pushpakara Shriyam. So Bhartur Vadanake Nyasta Drushtim Ishta Vicheshtitam. So Uditam Pushpa Sambharat Iva Pushpakara Shriyam. So Pushpa Akara Shriya. The beauty when you see a beautifully blossomed flower, as you feel, she was looking like that seated there. Then Bhartru Vadanake Nyasta Drushtim Ishta Vicheshtitam. So she was only looking continuously at the face of her husband. Chint, then Kinchit Pram Lana Vadana. Her face little was Mlana, faded, dried up with some type of disappointment, misery, dukkha, because he is not yet got up. Ute to celebration hoga, but in that Mlana sthiti she was. So Kinchit Mlana Vadanam, Mlana Chandram Nisha Miva. Like sometimes the Nisha, the moon, if he is covered with any of the clouds or any dust of that particular town, थोड़ा वो धुंधला सा जैसे रहते हैं, her face also with that Mlana था, losing that full कांति, थोड़ा सा कमी हुआ उस चेहरे के रौनक में. Anybody dukhi, immediately you see that glow is reduced. Then tabhyam sa lalana drushta. Tabhyam means by both of those. The Purva Leela as well as Mother Saraswati, sa drushta, sa lalana. She was seen by both of them. They saw her. Taya te tu nalakshite. But by her, these two were not seen. Leela and Saraswati, ये दोनों उनके द्वारा देखे नहीं गए. Then Yasmat Te Satya Sankalpe. How could they see her? Because they have reached to their level, maturity of Satya Sankalpata. They have controlled their Sankalpa Shakti so much with sadhanas. Leela with sadhana, Saraswati Mata by nature. Because of their Satya Sankalpata, they have that power to see that Leela. Okay, then why didn't she see them? Sa na tavat tatha udita. She is not yet that way arisen and awakened in her antakarna to be able to see these two are in the Ativahika Deha. So that means what? So many of the rishis, devatas, घूम रहे इधर, they see us, we can't see them. And they are in their own job. वो चलता है रहता है सूक्ष्म जगत, isn't it? Like to the naked eye, the dust particles, millions that are there around us, we cannot see them. But वो है अपना काम. So too, with our stula drushti, we don't see the presence of all these divine rishis, munis, devatas. वो होते हैं. So they are seeing her, but she can't see. They are the ones who are in they are Satya Sankalpa, she is not so. Now seeing this scene, Sri Rama puts a question. What is it? Sri Rama Uvacha. राम जी कहते हैं तस्मिन् प्रदेशे सा पूर्व लीला संस्थाप्य देहकम ध्यानेन ज्ञप्ति सहिता गता भूदिति वर्णितम. See, तस्मिन् प्रदेशे, in that Antapura. सा पूर्व लीला, that among those two लीला में वो लीला है ना पूर्व लीला, संस्थाप्य देहकम, अपना स्थूल शरीर keeping somewhere in that corner, ध्यानेन, with her meditation, withdrawing her Ativahika Sharira from the Stula Sharira, Jnapti Sahita, along with Mother Saraswati, Gata Bhuta, she went into the different lokas. Itivarnitam, this is what you told. So the Leela, along with Saraswati Mata, left that hall and went in Sukshma Sharira, leaving that Stula Sharira. Now, as per logic, kya hona chahiye? When the Leela comes, first she should find her Sharira and enter into that, na? And in description also, you have to tell about her, the Leela and her Sharira kaha rakha hai. That topic you are not talking only. You are talking about the other Leela as well as that Viduratha. So, किम इदानीम स लीलायाः देहः तत्र नवर्णितः. वो वाला देहा about the Leela, why are you not describing in the beginning? Why have you not told about that? Kim sampannah, is it existing? Kavayata, or it has gone somewhere else? Itime kataya prabho. Oh Lord, Vaashistha ji, please tell me. Is that body still there or somebody taken away or destroyed? Kya hua uska? Question is direct. But Vaashistha ji never gives answer directly. It will be told in the next sarga about are this Stula Sharira. But in this sarga totally, he talks about the reality, the truth, as an answer to this question, in which about the Stula Sukshma Sharira, he says all of them are mithya. So from here onwards, the most important jnanam starts given to us by Vaashistha ji, which is the purpose of this Shastra and every Shastra, and our purpose of studying Shastras and our whole human life's evolutionary path and the purpose of our life. Sri Vaashistha Uvacha. This I'll touch little bit, more detailedly we'll study tomorrow. कि कहते हैं क्वासीत लीला शरीरम तत् कुतस्तस्यास्ति सत्यता केवला भ्रांतिरेवा भूतो जल बुद्धिर्मराविवा. क्व आसीत लीला शरीरम. Where was that Sharira of the Leela and when was that? क्व आसीत, कहाँ था वो, कब था, कहाँ था, कैसे था वो? श्री वशिष्ठ जी asking. क्व आसीत लीला शरीरम तत् कुतः तस्य अस्ति सत्यता. ओ मेरे प्यारे रामा, where is the reality of that Sharira? It was never there only. When she was having that Sharira and she was saying that and we were talking and we saw and all of that, we saw means we were talking. All that time that Stula Sharira, Kevala Bhranti Eva Abhutu. That Stula Sharira is nothing but Bhranti Matra. How? Jala Buddhir Maraviva. Like you imagine the water in the desert in that mirage. It looks so, it is seen, it looks like it is that having a waves also in the water. But when you go there, do you see it? In the same way, that Stula Sharira was Bhranti. Hareva. Then what about everybody's Shariras? They are all Bhranti only. There is no Sthula Sharira actually. Then Sthula Sharira says the grossified mental projection of the Ativahika Deha only. She has reached to Ativahika Sthiti. Therefore, she is settled in that state. So this Sthula Deha is not there at all. Never it was there. The main topic is it is never there, it is projected. From the absolute standpoint, that will be told now. Even then, at the gross level, in the next sarga, we will be seeing that the Leela Sharira Mruta will be whatever it is done, we will see that. But right now, from the absolute standpoint, it is said, Ki asit Leela Shariram tat kutah tasya asti satyata. Not only her Sharira, everybody Shariras. Not only the Shariras, the entire world of Rupa Nama, nothing but the Samashti Mana Sankalpa of the Jivas grassified. That thought she is going to share now. That Vaashistha ji. Like if you have a shahar there, Delhi hai. What is Delhi is all the gross world of the buildings kaho, ped paudhe kaho, roads kaho, and the beings that they are staying. Kitne bhi ho, 80 lakh, 1 crore, sawa crore. All of that is the 1 crore jivas who are there in the Delhi. Their samashti mana sankalpa grossified is that Delhi Nagari. Otherwise, it is never there. Expand that. What about the entire Bharata? It is the grossification of the samashti mana of those jivas who are there in India that time. So, to what is the entire Prithvi? All we, the samashti jivas, our sankalpa is the one grossified, is this Prithvi. At the level of the Prithvi, then not only the human, all the living beings you can add to. Therefore, from this, what you and I have to understand for sadhana and sadhaka, sthula is only more grossification of projection. It is never real. With all its ability to touch it, look it, smell, look at it, smell it, जितने भी हो उस होने के बावजूद भी वो रियल नहीं है. It's only samashti mana kalpita. That's it. This, when we understand and accept, no, as we told in the introduction, our so much moha for this jagat that it is real, I have to possess, all that nonsense goes away, and you see, at that very moment, the mind is calm, quiet. In the calm and quiet mind, can't we become introverted and become sakshi to each of the upadhis and reach to our real essential self? That is the whole thing. So this will continue in next 5-6 shlokas. Then some questions asked by Rama, and answer to that, the Swapna example is taken to prove to us that whole Jagat is Mithya. Dekho, how much our gurus tell about these things to us with their experience. It is you and I who first we have to listen, think, understand. After understanding, on the seat of meditation, when we live to ourselves to that level, we will experience it, we should experience it. फाइनली हमारा अनुभव ही हमें मुक्ति देता है. अनुभव के लिए जो साधना करनी है, फॉर दैट ऑल दिस गाइडेंस इज गिवन. फ्रॉम टुडे ऑनवर्ड्स in Ramayana we studied Sri Ramanam Lelo. Or in this text, the entire stula is not as real as we think. It is only grossification of the subtle. And in the example of this Leela, she withdrew from the grossness, stayed in the subtle level. Then the gross is never there. Then on this, he asks a question, what about the Jivan Muktas, etc.? Whether they are alive or they are related to body. The body is attended by others, no? So he is talking to us, we see his body. What is the position of it? So it is our drushti gives us that he is in Sharira, but for him, he knows he is in the Brahmasthiti. The whole Sharira is Brahmaswarupa for him, not like Panchamahabhuta made as we see, not as it looks, is seen by us. That's how Sri Vasishtha guides all these metaphysical science here to spirituality. Beautiful. Huh? In other texts, all this data doesn't come to us. Thank you. We took up. It's all Ishvara Leela that is giving us the chance to study the Upanishads, study the Gita and this text and the Ramayana, and he was kind enough earlier to teach us on the Prakaranas. And he gave us chance to study the Adhyatma Ramayana, the Valmiki Ramayana, the Tulsi Ramayana, the Yoga, what do you call the Valmiki Ramayana, then Bhagavad Puran. See, with all this, Bhagavan is maturing us. It is happening. And with all millions of things heard, whether we remember them or not, the summary, if you remember, that's enough Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya, Jivo Brahma Eva Napara. Bas. The Brahman is reality, Jagat is Mithya. I, the Jiva, is not a Jiva with the Upadhis of the Jagat, but I am Nirupadhika Brahman only. This much essence is got, you are understanding the Vedanta. Same thing you practice, the sadhana is happening when we realize Raham Brahmasmi, Raham Jivasmi, and Jagat Mityasti. Or Jagat is my own expression, the moksha. Essence pakado, baki yaad rahe na rahe, farak nahi padta. Thank you. Sarvam Ramarpanam, Tulsidas Arpanam, Om Purnamadaha. Today, Puja Gurudev's Aradhana Divas. So we'll just chant Puja Gurudev's name for 11 times. Om Shri Chinmayananda Saraswati Sadgurave Namaha. 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 Tat Sat Brahmarpanastu. Thank you.